Heat of town. Smoke, 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 smoke. I just caught one.
What's going on, man? It's your boy Mouthpiece, and welcome to the Yeah. You heard me? Hey, man, I'm back in this motherfucker. And look, man, this show right here, I want to dedicate to somebody, man. I want to dedicate this one to my little brother, man, Tay Deuce. He on lock. You heard me? And I know he gonna watch this. And I know he waiting on my response, man. So this one dedicated to him, man, out there. You hear me? We got to talk about Shedeur Sanders and his slide to the fifth round. Y'all, it's two people to blame for this. And we didn't heard all the stuff that all the sports media analysts got to say. And a lot of other people got to say. But this one finna shock you, you hear me? Because I think it's two people to blame for this. And one of them don't play football. I want to take y'all back to the Bronny James project. You see, I think Bronny James, and the Lakers organization has indirect culpability in what happened to Shedeur Sanders. All the sports analysts and everybody downplayed the severity of Bronny James being picked when he wasn't deserving. You see, the draft process is one of those supposedly sacred things. And the NBA allowed LeBron, because he had cachet, to manipulate that draft process, you know. And even though people kind of downplayed it, a lot of the sports analysts were saying, oh, well, he might become a decent player, this and that. We haven't heard from Bronny James since the draft. It was bullshit, straight like that. And the media ain't gonna say it because for most of the sports analysts, it's best to be LeBron's friend than his enemy. But real competitive sports people did not like that at all. And I believe that the NFL saw that and they said, we will never let a player or former player dictate our draft and manipulate our draft like that. And that's where Deion Sanders comes in at. Because this is what people wasn't getting. Deion tried to manipulate that process. And I'm going to tell y'all how. You see, Deion, number one goal going to Colorado was to get his son drafted first round of the NFL. That was his number one goal. And he tried to manipulate that by blowing up his son's stats. Shedeur Sanders threw the ball 477 times last year. He was 60% of their offense throwing the ball. Mind you, Shedeur Sanders also had 100 rushes on the season, which was more than any running back on the team. You see, Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter both benefited from what Deion Sanders was doing. The difference between Travis Hunter was anybody could look at him and tell that he was a generational talent. Nobody felt like Shedeur was a generational talent. So Deion made it a point to balloon Shedeur's numbers. Shedeur averaged damn near 40 passes a game. 40. He threw the ball 477 times last year. He had another 42 dropbacks where he got sacked. That's over 500 dropbacks. Got to get to 4,000 yards. Deion Sanders felt like if he got his son to 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, it was no way in the hell that the NFL wasn't going to draft him first round. And the NFL caught him. They caught him because he was doing it blatantly. Let me explain. You see, while Deion Sanders was getting into it with coaches, while everybody was talking about the fact that Colorado didn't have a running game, I would say that they never really tried to. You see, at the end of last year, their first year in Colorado, the first thing Deion said in the press conference was, I got to get an O-line to protect my quarterback. Deion wasn't never trying to run the ball. All he wanted to do was Shedeur to chunk that bitch 40 times a game. You see what I'm saying? And the most blatant part that wasn't nobody talking about was the fact that he was leaving them in the games way too long. I'm going to give y'all an example. Oklahoma State last year, Colorado's up 38-0 in the third quarter. Travis Hunter and Shedeur was still in the game, throwing and catching touchdowns in the fourth quarter of that game. Why? Because Deion was bloviating their stats. He had been doing that all season, leaving them in the games way too long. He did it the season before, leaving them in the games way too long. He tried to, in his own slick way, manipulate the NFL draft process by ballooning his son's stats to make sure he was going to be a first-round pick. And the NFL owners and the NFL commissioner saw that shit and looked at that fucking fiasco that was LeBron James and Bronny James and said, ain't nowhere in the hell you doing that in our draft. This is the reason why Shedeur Sanders didn't get drafted to the 5th round. I'm not saying Shedeur not a good quarterback. Who knows if he gonna be any good in the NFL? Obviously, the NFL owners didn't see him like he saw himself because they knew Deion had ballooned his stats. Anyway, man, that's your boy, and that's my take on it. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all feel about it. I know it's going to be some negative shit in the comments. It's all good, man. But look, think about it. Go back and look at the tape. It's there. It's in your face, man. The Yeah Podcast, man. I'm gone.